pretty easily. If he micros correctly, it's going to come down to basically the tactics. I think once the carriers go out and try and do their thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Daezang, for as many Dragoons as he did, it looks like he has about two full control groups. It almost seems that Daezang never practiced what to do against a Terran after he's killed the assimilators. Like, you know, he is in the Air Force, I believe, or in the military at least, and he might have much less practice time than the rest of these players, because after he sealed C in, he basically just, I don't know what he was doing for a while. He was still pumping a lot of Dragoons out, only made one shuttle, and then is now going straight to carriers. It almost seems like he's got sort of a schizophrenic way of playing right now, because it just, I'm not sure, like you were saying, Moltrap, all those Dragoons aren't going to be able to attack, but it looks like he's going to go for an attack right now. No, he's just killing off the barracks, rather, trying to set up his natural expansion on the left side of his base. But yeah, like I was saying, all those Dragoons won't be able to get into the base. He doesn't have any shuttles to transport them. Actually, he has one shuttle now, but it's going to take quite a while to transport them to any way to deal with these Dragoons, to deal with these Goliaths. And so I do think C's actually managed to fight back really well into this game. I think he's at 4 bases to 3 here against Daezang. And once again, I'm surprised that Daezang didn't expand right after he sealed C in and just get 1 or 2 more expansions, which he could have easily at that point.
In the meantime, Shuttle's going to get caught by these Dragoons actually out in the field. Actually, no, it looks like they're going to be able to deal with this A-OK, but that's a huge group of Goliaths, as you can see right there. Really what Daezang's going to have to, at this point, because it's such a large group of Goliaths, and because he really, I just don't know if he has enough to deal with it, he's going to have to kind of play the game micro-wise, which, again, surprises me. Yeah, C is essentially economically ahead. He's equal on bases, 3 versus 3. His bases were up sooner, and he just, he never bothered to contain C, he never bothered to post Dragoons out in the field to really deal with C once it happened. Now C has level 2 weapons upgrade. Looks like we only see we have a couple interceptors, but only level 1 weapons. No level 1 weapons.
It looks like he only has 4 interceptors per carrier. I don't know if you noticed this, guys, but it looks like he's forgotten to. I don't know. Did he forget to upgrade carrier capacity? Because they were clicking a couple of carriers, and they have 4 each.
I guess he's just trying to play an economical game. I really don't get it at this point, honestly, what Daezang's doing. He's playing almost passively, as though he didn't take the assimilators down initially. It's like he expected his opponent to GG right at that point, I guess, like in the early games, or didn't expect it to really pull off.
No, they're clicking them. He really doesn't have more than 4 interceptors per carrier. I'm pretty sure the observer's trying to point that out there.
It's interesting. I guess at least we can see. I don't know why I didn't think this before, but that's why he has all those Dragoons. Is I don't know why I didn't imagine C like putting all of his forces outside and trying to do something like that. But luckily he does have those Dragoons, but he's not doing anything with the carriers. It's almost as if he's afraid of those Goliaths. His Dragoons should be able to take care of those Goliaths, but he's just running. Oh my god, there's a lot of carriers though. But he needs to go and just start killing off C's bases. That's what carriers are good for, is going across the air and going over ridges and killing things and not being able to get hit. And this is a perfect map for that, and he's not doing any of it. He's just letting C get stuff.
It looks like, yeah, he's killing a couple of assimilators here at the north, perhaps trying to deny an expansion or something, but he has a perfect way of... I think it's quite easy for him to attack this expansion here, actually, and unfortunately for C, he was unable to prevent him from getting a critical mass of carriers, so it looks like he will be able to take down this command center quite easily. There's almost no way of attacking these carriers because they are over the open ground there, and there's that edge of the sea there, so he's managed to take down the C's expansion there. I still think, I guess finally Daezang decided to wake up and say, I have carriers and I'm going to use them, because now C's in trouble.
Yeah, see, finally, Daezang finally going out and making an attack. I think he could have done that a lot earlier. I like how he took out that assimilator at the 12 o'clock position, so the Goliaths, if they did manage to drop in that location, they would be pinned in, essentially. Now we'll see, C's in a bit of trouble here. He's got to defend a lot of locations. Daezang coming right back and harassing that area, and this is the problem, is that Daezang has to be a little bit careful pushing up from this point, because if he pushes up too far beyond this point, he could get a lot of those drop ships underneath. It looks like he's putting down a second cybernetics core to get some additional upgrades along the side, but his main almost mined out, so basically he's now down to 1 base versus Daezang's 3. He's starting to push out. He's at level 2 weapons upgrade, but he's running into Dragoons, and honestly, Dragoon on Goliath forces, not the best situation, but maybe those dropships are filled with units as well.
Yeah, this doesn't actually look good for Daezang. He needs to get his carriers back right now, but he's getting dropped all over the place. unfortunately, the way to deal with carriers is to make them come to you, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's dropping all over Daezang's natural and making Daezang bring his carriers back here. And Daezang has still not expanded, so if he loses this natural, then he's basically going to be... Oh, I'm sorry, he's expanded that island, but he hasn't done a lot of expanding here, so if he loses his natural, his main is mined out. He's not going to be able to do very well. He's not going to be able to keep up production of carriers, that's for sure. And he's actually leaving his carriers where they can get attacked by those Goliaths. And this is actually, things have turned around quite drastically. There was just too many Goliaths, and Daezang he made a lot of Dragoons, but he stopped making them, and he was not keeping up with the amount of Dragoons. And it looks like he's no matter how many intercepts he had those before, he seems to have lost most of them. And he's just basically forced back to his island expansion there, and just gonna try and hold out at that island with 6 or 7 probes mining there. So things not looking good for him anymore at all.
Yeah, it looks like some cloaked wraiths are probably being built for C there. I did see a couple more starports, and the control tower was flashing, but Daezang still has a lot of carriers left. He has still about almost a dozen carriers, I think. It's just it's a really interesting game because of these assimilators. I don't know who destroyed the assimilators there at his front door, but now Daezang's effectively sealed in also against Goliaths, so his carriers still have a lot of mobility, still can start roaming the map, and C, I think correctly, is deciding to switch to wraiths to deal with his anti-air here. I'm not sure how many observers Daezang has still, and if C can pick them off, then he'll be in huge trouble with his carriers. But it looks like he does manage to see these wraiths here. He is going to know these cloaked wraiths are coming. At this point, though, I have to say I have to revise my previous opinion. Daezang is quite far behind. He did lose his natural expansion, and he doesn't have any expansion around any bases around the map. So, I mean, while his carriers are still quite formidable, I just don't know if they're going to be able to do anything right now. And this is just a weird game right now. I mean, C basically has a dropship fleet here, and that's what he's using to attack these carriers, and it's actually working out here. So I guess C must have practiced this, or must have at least thought about it, on the fly. Really good adjustment by C, though.
Ooh, looks like a big drop going in on Daezang's main. He has nothing to fight that off. He does not have anything, no shuttles, no zealots, no dragoons back there, and his carriers are completely out of position. I think C's going to come out with this, which is unbelievable. Daezang, when he had sealed Celian, he didn't expand, and he didn't he didn't contain C at the same time around the perimeter. Now he's getting dropped all over, losing his economy. All he has left is those carriers, and Templar coming out, but the Templar getting wiped out fairly quickly. I think C's going to end up taking this match, and that is absolutely crazy, unbelievable to me. And wow, yeah, he basically already has. Between dropships, between Goliaths, amazing comeback by C. And actually, that's what I was going to say a bit earlier, is I don't think, well, C does play fairly typical, but he pulls this sort of stuff all the time, where he just comes out of nowhere and ends up winning matches, and he has done it once again, and it looks like Daezang is on the verge of being eliminated, and C is on the verge of advancing, despite showing kind of a lackluster opening and secondary, but taking Daezang twice in a row, although one on a map that's a little, I would say, favored towards Terran players. But yeah, it looks like he's going to win this again. I'm surprised actually he didn't keep those Goliaths and decide to take out all the buildings, and yeah, it looks like he is leaving some Goliaths there. But wow, C with a huge comeback. Yeah,
basically Daezang, he doesn't have any bases left. He's just going to try and win it with these like 12 carriers or whatever he has. And
cloaked wraiths coming in.
It's theoretically possible to... Oh, the cloaked wraiths! I don't know if he even has any observers left. I don't think he has observers.
I think he picked up all the observers.
Sorry. Yeah, C has been picking off the observers slowly and steadily throughout the entire match. And oh, Daezang has nowhere to go. He's already lost a few carriers. Here comes number 4, and that was his last hope. He's down to 6 carriers, 7 or 8 carriers, something like that. Finally, his observer comes in there, but he's lost the meat of his force. He doesn't have an uber amount of carriers anymore, and he's chosen not to defend his base, so he doesn't have a base anymore either. I don't think there's really any way he can come back from this, personally, and I'm really disappointed. I was really rooting for Daezang because of the fact that he's on ace, so he's an underdog automatically, and he doesn't have too much time to practice, but he's still been playing well despite that, and so I was really rooting for him, and especially over C, who's going to choke in the first round anyway. So I'm disappointed by this personally.
Yeah, GG coming from Daezang here. Really disappointing for me too. You can actually see it on his face a little bit. But yeah, I think that, wow, he really could have won the game at 2 points, I think, right when he contained C. Oh, I really hope C doesn't do a ceremony. I really... Alright, he didn't. He just... a little thumbs up. But, yeah, I felt he could have won.
Well,
also
I
when he
totally
first got his
thought C
carries out.
like entered one side of the door and a girl came out the other side. I was like, whoa! C transformed into a hot girl. That's amazing.
Yeah, C morphed.
That's a ceremony.
Yeah, I felt that C could have won after the carriers came out. I mean, I'm sorry, Daezang could have won after the carriers came out, or he could have at least done a lot of damage to C. But he just didn't use them for quite a long time. Just basically had to fight off a lot of glides, and then at the end he just got dropped so hard there. I have to say C was quite impressive in coming up with an innovative way of dealing with this. I mean, he had been dealing with basically an island map where he was sealed in, and he didn't want to make raids, so he decided to build glides and a ton of dropships, and it turned out it worked.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm really disappointed that Daezang got knocked out. But you know, I think C should have gotten a championship by now. But yeah, I'm kind of with Moletrap, where he's kind of like the I don't know, like the Braves, where they keep going and then getting knocked right back and just taking up another player's potential spot. So hopefully he'll do a little bit better, at least maybe get to the round of 4 this time. The round of 16 does seem to be his bane, but yeah, this game pulling off an amazing comeback.
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to disagree. I don't think he should have gotten a championship or anything. I don't think he's quite championship material. I think he's damn good, but he's not quite that little bit more Ubar than everyone else that he's championship material. I mean, he's just completely solid, and he doesn't really fold in standard games, and so he racks up tons of wins in the Pro League and everything. But when it comes up against someone pretty, difficult, he can't quite hang in the long term there. So we'll see, though. I mean, he's been getting through the beginnings of tournaments very consistently. So I mean, it's not as if he's a slouch or anything like that. Perhaps he can step it up and win those crucial games in the next tournament.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that triple commentary, and of course check out Cholera and a bunch of go to SC2GG, because on the front page, I'm serious, almost every single game's being commentated now, which is really exciting for me, because this is basically what I've been looking for this entire time, and it looks like it's actually happening. Not every single game, but like almost every single game. A couple Pro League games.
All of the Star League games, and about half the Pro League right now, basically.
And a lot of these are getting double covered just because sometimes there's lack of communication. So sorry, I think Lost Wraith might have ended up doing these as well. We weren't sure if he was actually going to be around to doing it, so apologies to him. Otherwise, also check out Lost Wraith, by the way. Special shout out to him, just in case we ended up dueling, or I guess trying these over, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, thanks for... Yeah, anyway, and he's awesome. So anyway, but thanks for listening, guys, and check out Caller SE. He deserves to get a whole bunch of subscriptions. Also, Vol, a new guy, and I'm sure you guys have already seen Deus and all the other guys. So anyway, but SC2GG main page, ton of vids up there. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for inviting me along this time. I enjoyed it. Yeah, check out sc2gg.com. That's all I have to say.